coaching. Holy moly, I can't believe I am already done 2 semesters. Next week, I will be heading into the wellnesses. From what I hear, I'm going to be taking all of the skills that I've already learned and then diving into my own physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. It sounds intense. So naturally, I'm really excited. I feel ready. I think. My final week of coaching, however, was bittersweet. I am really gonna miss my class. It was a really small group of us, and I'm not gonna be with all of them next semester, so I'm a little bit sad. So we learned a lot about separation anxiety in our last week and how to adjourn relationships in a way that allows you to have proper goodbyes and closure. I feel like I had the ideal breakup with like each member of my class this week that I needed to break up with, even though I'll still see them in the halls at school every day, pretty much. It's just not the same. So for the last 2 days, all we did were these little ceremonies that our instructor called celebrations. They were to honor each person in the class and how that individual had grown throughout the semester. It sounds great, right? Like, oh, everyone's just going to celebrate me and tell me how great I am and how much wonderful progress I've made throughout the semester. Like, who wouldn't want to be showered with praise and admiration? But it turns out, me, kind of. I don't. Well, at least it was really uncomfortable for a while. You just sit at the front of the room by yourself and everyone says really nice things about you and you're just supposed to say, thank you, that's nice, and then move on. It's really weird to not be able to respond. You want to just be like, you're really cool too, I like you also, your haircut's really groovy. You do actually get a chance because everyone has their turn at the front. But when it is your turn at the front, everyone is just there for you and they are not asking for anything in return. And that's a really rare thing to happen. I don't think I've ever been in that situation, and it was really special. So it took me a while to get comfortable and actually settle into it. Of course, afterwards, I felt amazing. It feels so nice to hear all these wonderful things. So I would encourage you to shower people with compliments or receive compliments and try not to reciprocate. Just say thank you and take the compliment for what it is. Don't shake it off. Oh, no, your cheeks are far rosier than mine. Receiving compliments is tough, and it's something that I have been trying to get better at, so I got a lot of practice this past week in class. My favorite part of the celebrations, though, was that each person had a song that was specifically selected for them by the person who had been coaching them throughout the semester. The song was supposed to represent that person and the journey that they had been on over the past 3 months and beyond. My coach chose Who You Are by Jessie J. And this song played as I was walked into the room and sat at the front, and almost immediately I just started crying. I had tears like running down my face, like, oh, that song's so beautiful. And it's weird because I had heard this song several times before, but you hear it different and it sounds different when you know that it has been specifically selected for you. Also, it was a great pick for me, so kudos to my coach. Really owning who I am and not trying to force myself into a mold has been an ongoing struggle for me. I get really hard on myself for tiny errors, and I easily abandon who I am and what I want to please other people. Or worse, just to look a certain way to other people. I think that's a pretty common struggle, but it's hard and it's different for everybody. You know, I always felt like I knew who I was inside, and then for some reason just the person that I actually projected was not always that person. I was like, how does that happen? Where does it get lost in translation? Like, I say things, I'm like, where did that come from? One time I told a guy that I liked Jackass the movie. I don't like that movie at all. It's really gross. Another time I watched the entire series of Trailer Park Boys because a guy I liked Trailer Park Boys, so I pretended to like it. It took up so much of my time. So throughout this coaching semester, I have tried to really step into myself more and just be Kendra without trying to be Kendra or being the Kendra that I think I'm supposed to be or that I kind of want to be, even though genuinely it's not me, and not worry about whether or not people like her, even though I still want people to like me. And I do think that over the past 3 months, I have tapped into a version of myself that is more honest, raw, and vulnerable. My first semester, which was counseling, was definitely more academic and heady. I was up here, whereas this past coaching semester was really more about my emotions and I got into my heart. So now I will take this new hardy Kendra into the wellnesses. Hopefully I come out even more naked and alive than I am now, which would be amazing and invigorating and totally scary. But I guess I'll just have to wait and see, and so will you. That's all I have for you today for a little lesson with a touch of insight. Practice accepting compliments without reciprocating. It actually feels pretty stellar. I will leave you today with my theme song, and I will see you next week.